I just packed up all of my dive and spearfishing gear. Me and a couple of buddies, Jace and Dylan, are headed out to California. We're gonna be diving on an old tugboat called the Peace Boat. I want my kids to watch this stuff one day and be inspired to learn new skills and hobbies. I think that is the number one thing that gets put on the back burner as an adult, father, husband. Something cool about this specific trip is that it's not expensive. It's under $1,000. Sleeping accommodations as well as meals. And to my boys, I can't wait to do this stuff with you guys when you're older. And one day when I'm no longer around, I hope you guys watch this and it motivates you to get your butts up off the couch and to get out there and do something awesome. Fit?
I don't know. Make it fit. How long is yours? So you're up there.
All right.
You've never been to Din Tai Fung?
What's up, dudes?
What's up, man?
Oh, you're filming?
Yeah. What makes this Din Tai Fung place so legit?
It's just like the flavors, the juices.
Dude, it's straight from
China?
Hong Kong.
Oh, I didn't know.
Is this the kind of food that's gonna just absolutely set us up perfectly for a dive trip or destroy us?
Okay, this was the question. That was our only hesitation.
I mean, we have all day to digest it. So,
are we filling the pipes? Like, what are we doing?
It's pork. It's just pork, dude. I mean,
pork,
they're tiny. They're small.
Pork and bread.
Usually, bro, I can go there and pound like 20 dumplings.
Yeah.
But I'll probably only have 10. Like our
do you see the cracks?
Din Tai Fung is a restaurant that serves mainly dumplings. The ones we tried for the most part were the pork dumplings, and they were very good. Jace gave a very descriptive experience of what it's like to eat them. It's kind of like a pork-based soup, and it has just a very comfort food feel to it when you eat it. Definitely thought that it lived up to the hype.
Very many people spearfish. I think it's
like intro.
I ended up doing on this like spearfishing.
That's not fitting, yeah?
You know the Utah spearfishing page?
Yeah.
Hold this in my lap.
We clearly had a lot of time on our hands this day because it felt like we were just going from place to place eating, and this place didn't disappoint. Baja Bay Surf and Taco. They had this big cooked chili of some sort. Jace committed to eating it like 5 times to decide if it was good or not, or if it was crazy spicy. He finally came to a conclusion.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, it says.
Oh, I thought you were saying just seeing the boat. That's home for the weekend, or the week right there. Yeah, dude, act natural. Yeah, there she is. The Peace Dive Boat is a renowned liveaboard vessel operating out of Ventura, California. They offer scuba, freediving, spearfishing trips to the Channel Islands and to the banks beyond. We got a quick introduction to the crew and the processes and procedures of the boat. Built in 1972 as a sport fishing vessel, she is 62 feet long and can accommodate up to 24 people for overnight trips.
What's up?
You spacious, dude?
Bro.
Kind of feels like you're in a coffin. Oh, wow. How you doing, dude?
This is sick. Look, you get your own like.
The best is the center divider. Getting out to our first area was really rough the whole night. I didn't really know because I was one of the ones that slept through it all, but apparently the seas were really rough. So I woke up and it was really nice to just enjoy this quiet, beautiful sunrise to myself. We ended up cruising along a little further to go find some better area, and I was just excited to get in the water. Diving California waters is not like anything else that I've done. It really looks nothing like tropical waters. It's like the difference between going to the beach with palm trees to going to a mountain lake with pine trees. It's just 2 totally different settings. I remember the first time I dove into kelp forest several years ago. It really freaked me out, but it actually quickly became a place of serenity and mental clarity. It's just so calm. It's so quiet, and at the same time, there's so much abundant life all around you. It's unbelievable. Freedive spearfishing is a really cool sport. It's such a fun mix of several of my favorite activities. You have snorkeling, shooting, hunting, gathering, all of this while developing your ability to hold your breath and dive down 50 plus feet. Really early on, I was very excited to see my first scallop. That's something I always wanted to harvest. So I was really excited to grab my first scallop. You can't really see it in this shot. I need to get a better GoPro. So pretty soon I see a fairly common fish, but it's one of my favorite ones to eat, a calico bass. This one's definitely big enough and is going to make amazing table fare. Give it a quick dispatch and I'm close enough to the boat, so I just decided to swim it in. It was a good sign to get fish this early on in the boat. Me and Dylan actually had the same bag with a sheephead and a barracuda. And Jace came in with his biggest sheephead to date, so pretty awesome first dive. Is that the top of his head? Or is that
right
your
here, through his mouth right there.
Oh, sick. Figured this would be a good time to give a quick tour of the boat. There were some really cool people that we met on this trip. Overall, just positive attitudes and people that were excited to go experience the beauty of this California area. Here you can see that hot tub. It really was amazing. Moving inside, this is the main galley where we have our meals. Here's the bathrooms. I actually love the old school touches of the stained glass. Nothing to write home about, but definitely nothing to complain about either. Moving downstairs, you have a mirroring quarters on the other side. This is my bed. Like I mentioned earlier, they're pretty small, but honestly, got the job more than done with how tired we were every day. We quickly processed our barracudas and had them cooked up immediately. The reputation I've heard of barracuda is that it's not good. However, a very experienced diver on the boat said it's his favorite when it's from California and it's fresh. We handed it over to the chef and had it that night, and it actually really was one of my favorite fish of the trip. How's the hot tub, Ben?
Good and hot.
Did it burn your skin?
It's pretty hot, I'll tell you that.
You know what they say about getting in the hot tub? Now you're part of the ship, part of the crew.
Shut up, this isn't Pirate of the Caribbean, you're not Davy Jones.
Ben was one of the new friends I made on this trip and is an absolute master of movie trivia. So I'd hit him with a random quote constantly and he never got it wrong. Waking up the next morning was something out of a movie. Totally. So this was it. This was our chance to really try to find some white sea bass before the trip comes to an end. I'm going to show you this dive here from beginning to end so you can get a feel of what it looks like to be holding your breath while hunting underwater. I'm in about 45 feet to 50 feet of water here, and I stop at around 25 to 30. The white sea bass seem to be kind of hanging out in the middle of the water column, and I actually see a really big one here in just a second. He's right there for just a split second swimming away. They call these things white ghosts for a reason. I decided to swim the same direction he was going in to see if maybe we'd come to a head. Obviously, it's time to start thinking about getting a breath here, and I look up to find a window in the kelp that I can swim to stick my snorkel out of and get my breath. And of course, on my way up, I start to get swarmed by all these white sea bass. When I saw my spear go through him and he took off, I was trying to not be overly excited, but this was a big deal. It quickly dawned on me that shooting the fish was going to be really like 1/10 of the battle. As I start following my line that's tangled up, I quickly see sharks starting to gather around my fish on the bottom. I called in some other divers nearby to just give me some assistance because I don't have eyes in the back of my head.
I got sharks on a fish!
And I wanted to get my fish out of there as fast as possible to avoid any kind of a feeding frenzy from starting. I want my fish, obviously, but I also don't want to spoil these waters with all those white sea bass I just saw. I want everybody else to get their chance too, and if the sharks get too aggressive, it's probably going to ruin this spot for a while. You might notice I dropped my knife right here, which is a bummer, but I didn't care at this point. I just needed to get my fish to the surface and away from those sharks.
There's a boat right there. Yo! I had sharks eating on my fish, dude. Look. Oh, yeah.
I held the dinghy boat over to just take over so that I could get my fish out of the water and try to get my gun and shooting line back together.
In the water to see what's going on underneath me on this thing.
Ended up separating the shooting line from the shaft line, which made it way easier to reel in my line through all the kelp and just get my gun put back together quickly in the boat.
Thank you. They spooked out that way, Spencer. They spooked out that way and started making a circle this way. Yeah, the sharks are here, dude. Just now you saw them? Yeah. Are you about in the same spot, do you think, that you came up at to me on? Let's see if I can find my knife.
I decided to look for my knife for just a couple of minutes. I dove down right on top of it. I wasn't even really looking, and then right when I got to the bottom, I picked up my eyes and saw the knife basically in my face, which was lucky. It's nice to not lose a knife, and unfortunately I've lost too many at this point.
Dude, what are the odds of that?
Under the sun's burning glare, dust settles in.
I was so stoked to run into Jace and see a fish in his hands. It was lucky that I came across him right after he landed his first white sea bass.
Let's go, dude. 2 on the day. That's sick, dude. Congrats.
Dude, I'm so tired after
Yeah,
that.
head in. I think I'm going to kick around a little longer. I think I'm going to make my way back through this field.
I had already had 2, and on my way back, this white sea bass swam between my legs. I was only like 30 yards from the boat at this point and couldn't believe my luck to shoot my 3rd white sea bass on my way back in.
All right, got my fish.
You got that?
Yeah. Thanks, man. I would love that. Here.
Yeah.
That's gotta be 30 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
Let's go. Dude, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Pretty fish. That's what you came for.
First white sea bass.
Yeah, and that sometimes takes 2, 3, 4 trips to shoot,
I've
so.
seen people go for multiple years.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
After a lot of work, I had 3 on board, Jace had 3 on board, and Dylan finally got his white sea bass.
What do we got, dude? You're on 3 white sea bass for the day. How many total on our, between me, you, and Dylan? We've got 6.
Fresh white sea bass.
Yeah, fresh caught white sea bass. Just a tiny bit of soy sauce.
How many of those did we get today?
Huh?
How many of those did we get today?
Well, the boat got, I think, 20. I think between me, you, and Dylan, we're on 7 so far. And I don't think we ever need to cook the fish. Just eat it like that, dude.
Pretty awesome for us all to get a white sea bass on this trip.
That is so crazy.
Got some fresh scallops here, and I have a little scrapper, so.
How is it?
Dude, it's so good. Did you try one?
Yeah, I tried one. I'm not as fan like you are.
At this point, the trip was winding down and it was time for us all to just get our fish processed and ready to go home. That night, the scuba divers went out for a night dive to see if they could find some halibut. They were definitely successful, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty jealous when I saw them come in with all these fish. Don't know if they want their faces shown, so here's a picture of their fish. It was just an amazing trip. I really look forward to coming back again in the future. Really fast, just wanted to show you guys how amazing it is to get this kind of fish back home. I've never seen a fillet this big or been able to work with something of this size. It makes it a lot easier. I kept the belly meat and we got our families together and we all made our own dishes with the fish that we brought home. Jace and Dylan made some fish tacos with some beer batter, and I made some fresh nigiri. And it was really so good. This was the next day after we got those fish and brought them home. It is definitely rewarding to be out hunting and gathering, but it's definitely just as, if not more rewarding, to come back and share this amazingly healthy food with people you care about. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you have any questions about this trip or anything in the video, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'll definitely be getting back to you. I'm looking forward to showing you guys my next episode, which is actually going to be a weird pivot and show you a little bit about the shifter cart that I bought and a day at the track.